these are photographs from my smartphone. They're not that good quality, but I like to use my smartphone when I'm out cycling. And I'm going to talk to you about some clouds, why clouds inspire me, and how they can do the same for you. So how can they inspire you for art? So this is a really nice picture here. If you look at the cursor, you've got some nice cloud forms here in a kind of perspective. And I like to look at clouds, and I like to pick out the sculptural form. So here's a really interesting form here that I'm drawing around. And, you know, it could be a futuristic form or a sculptural thing just by looking at that bit there. These photos I'm going to show you are taken in Fort William, and they were taken in early March. So this is a bit blurry, but again you can see these fantastic clouds. It almost looks like one of those lenticular clouds here. And look at this, there's a really nice sharp point there, and it goes off there. And then of course you've got the reflections in the water. And on blue sky days, especially up in places like Fort William and other places in Scotland, such as the Isle of Lewis, if you ever go there and you get to see on a sunny day, it almost looks like an alien planet. And you get these interesting forms, and I love just sitting or drawing these forms and then getting ideas for shapes and things that I can develop into shapes for art. They could be spaceships, they could be sculptural forms, or abstract sketches. So you've seen a lot of my city work. I also do get inspired by nature as well. Let's go to the next slide. So this is Ben Nevis, the highest mountain in the UK. And then these clouds are quite nice. Sometimes around mountains you get interesting reactions with clouds and mountains. I mean, Ben Nevis is a high mountain, but it's not like the Alps or the Canadian Rockies or something. But still you do get nice interactions with the clouds. Again, so if you're like anything like me, you might want to sit out somewhere and just sketch clouds. Here's another one in Fort William, and I love the color of these clouds. So these are at sunset, so they no longer take on a kind of sculptural feel. They no longer look that 3D. They take on more of a painterly or a flat, even illustrative feel. But again, the shapes are interesting, and the spaces between the shapes are interesting to look at, research, and investigate. And the best way I find to investigate is to draw the stuff. So I try to look at this shape and then have a space and draw that as well. And again, it's a beautiful day, and I love this color, especially on the white snow contrasted with the blue sky. And then again, there's really no clouds in this one, but it's got a big blue expanse, and it's just got a little bit of mountain there. And I love this sort of thing. I mean, I flew to Canada the last 2 winters, and I could see the Greenland shelf, and it really had this northern snowy feel. I love the whole arc, going up from Scotland, as it were, to Iceland, then to Greenland, then Labrador, Quebec, and then even down to New York. That kind of icy, wintry thing. I mean, our winters aren't that cold here, but this whole arc is this really interesting piece of land. And I think the whole lot, when it's very sunny and you get these sort of mountains and this light, to me it takes on a futuristic feel. And I'd really love to go to Iceland. I'm thinking about perhaps trying to go there soon. There's a lot of fab labs there. There's 5 fab labs actually, and there's only about 200 or 300,000 people. Correct me if I'm wrong, which is amazing. So it sounds like they're doing some really interesting things up there. But again, the landscape in Iceland is fantastic, and they do a lot of films up there. They did the part of that Oblivion film by with Tom Cruise in it. And it sort of really matched that kind of, again, that retro futuristic look that film was trying to portray. And then there was Prometheus, I think, was filmed up there. So they have amazing landscapes up there. But Scotland's damn cool as well. So let's go to the next slide. So here's me just doing rough mock-up sketches, and I have this idea at the moment in March 2016 to get some of my drawings and kind of overlay them onto photographs that I feel are futuristic, and then I get some of my 3D models and then lay down the models as well, like these spaceships. Or possibly I might do 3D prints and have the 3D, you know, it in a 3D box with the photo behind and the drawings and stuff like that. So, you know, with cloud forms and art, you can experiment. So you can overlay the drawings and you know, you can have the clouds behind it. So that's just some examples. So this picture, I'm going to show you some stuff with yeah, I'm gonna get this, and it's only the GIMP software. My Sketchbook Pro is not loading at the moment. Let's take this down a bit, and you know, when I'm just drawing on the touchpad on the on the computer, I'm actually should be drawing on the tablet. It's a bit strange when you do things like that, isn't it? So usually I'd do some drawing. Whoops. Let's take that back, Control Z. And usually I do kind of sort of messing around on paper to copy the skies, but you could also use the photograph itself with a tablet. And you know, you can, I'll just bring the brush size up a bit. You know, so for example, you've got this really, you know, this form immediately, just taking the line for a walk, this form jumps out, that form jumps out, and this form jumps out, you know, there and there. And immediately, in my mind, you've got an abstract rhythm going on with sort of almost sculptural forms, yeah? Alternatively, if you like seeing things in clouds, you know, such as figures or landscapes or whatever, you could draw what you see over the photograph. But for me, you know, that's starting to take on an abstract feel, and then I can do my trademark little triangles or circles as it goes and builds something up as well, and then perhaps crop it so it's like this, and then I'd perhaps get some 3D renders that I've done in 3ds Max, Blender, or even now I'm using ZBrush again, and you can take them in and perhaps play around with having some cool graphics in front of your sort of cool cloud photographs and your abstracts. It's basically some ideas I'm interested in at the moment. So if you've got any ideas or comments about what I'm doing, or any ideas you've got for clouds and why they inspire you, then let me know. I mean, there's loads of other reasons why clouds inspire me. I mean, they're awesome, and you look at them on a clear day and you imagine the expanses, and especially on icy days like this, you imagine the northern hemispheres and the oceans and stuff, especially when the sun sets. So if you've got any comments, whatever, just ask me. And remember, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's more to come like this. There's loads of tips. And check out my art site for the art that I'm doing, and keep up to track with that as well. So thanks so much for listening to this and watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.